coming at it, and tell me when me I get the 25 million, a different thing when me get the $25 million. Neighbor, when you tell these people about 25 million, you know what kind of setup you set them up? They're gonna directly push to you, so no matter what Labour right come with, they want to know so them have voted for them MP because them close to him, and him gonna have $25 million at his disposal, and it is possible now that this case, the spoiled benefit must come to them.
Thank you very much, Scotty.
All over Jamaica, neighbor, all over Jamaica on the both sides.
Thank you very much, and that's what I must say, and that's why I said, right?
So sorry, dear Nick. Sorry, dear Nick. So Scratchy, we hear chatty, but maybe we just a chat. Now what change?
Yeah, but I take out my election gone, you know, I take off my green hat, you know. I thought my mind now based on my development of my country, and I don't dare campaign for no party, election is over. I take off my green hat.
Yes.
And I am talking now.
Are you green armband?
I'm a green armband. I am talking going forward now, looking at my country and so to best policies, programs.
To choose Jamaica.
We choose Jamaica, we did that. And I'm looking forward to Jamaica more. You know, I'm going to take off my green hat. I'm not campaign no more. I'm a green hat gone.
But Scratches, going back to what I just said earlier, right? This is what I am saying. Not because the election is over, it means that we're going to stop educating people on the development and the issues that are happening within the country. And I think that is where the problem is. How are we going to reach, as what Neighbour said before, how are we going to reach to these persons, those 400 persons that came out and voted for the PMP? How we are going to reach them? By having the information, right? Even if them not read, we put it out there, right? So every chance we get, we say, all right, cool, this one the development we want, we put it out there.
Nick, you could have tell them, you could have put out and you could have balled blood, you ain't gonna reach to them. The tribalism start from a ground level. The tribalism start from in the community them, based on how the distribution of the scarce benefit is done.
Yes.
The distribution of the scarce benefit is not being done equally, neighbor. So they're gonna always be tribalism. They're gonna always be people that curse. I said them benefit more than neighbor. You think it's nice when you're in a constituency neighbor and Christmas come and you see your member of parliament, and even though he's a PNP or a Labour right, and you know say alright, a PNP la power me a Labour right neighbor. And me know say me see the man with the PNP coming to them nice Christmas and we over here so the Labour coming to them have nothing. What do you think we're gonna push for?
Yes, you're damn right, sir. So
tribalism man.
We have to take out the distribution from MPs. We have to move it away from them.
Exactly, neighbor. The MPs, the distribution of the MPs, them are that is causing the tribalism, neighbor, because it's only shared to their set of people, neighbor. When you look at neighbor, all right, there's a JLP member of parliament. Me is a PNP. Oh, me come check you now. I miss one office paint up in a big green is better than everything. You think nobody is going to say ask you know what's going to help?
Yeah. In other words, the very member of parliament office you need to get rid of the colours. It must be the
neighbor. The moment you become the member of parliament, your office must be in no political colours.
Yeah.
The moment you become the member of parliament, your office must not be in any political colours.
Take down the colours. Yeah. Serve the people.
When a campaign time, you go paint but that in a green or orange.
Yes. So true. And Trati, maybe the MP office, isn't the MP office a state office? Isn't it paid for by taxpayers' money? I think so.
I believe the secretary is paid for by taxpayers' money, or yes, I believe so to some extent. Yes. I don't think to some extent they will have to research, but I don't think they are fully, but to some extent I think they are. Constituent secretaries, yes, the constituent secretaries they do get a salary, neighbor. They do get a salary.
Yes, you are.
But that is where we have to fix the tribalism, neighbor. That is where we have to fix it, neighbor. Distribution of these things that the MP have under their control, neighbor. It is not being done fairly, neighbor. It has to be done on a fairly basis. And that's why some of them MP are losing the neighbor, because they don't know, they just keep giving once to people them all the while. And people are getting fed up.
But Scratchy, you have a valid point, you know, and let me add to that, right? As you rightfully said, until we get rid of the tribalism within the country and the parties, right? It will not be better, because as you rightfully said, for some constituencies, right, you realize Christmas come, right, or other public holidays come around, and you realize that these persons are getting certain we're talking not just benefits, but also the
spoils.
Yeah, the sweet treats, right?
Yes.
Then they're gonna say, listen, so how we now get that? This is one of the reasons why the MPs need to go out, right? Even if so be the case, right? You get some funds and you say, all right, cool, make we bring the people together, because guess what happened? For me, I think that also is also a way of, getting to know the people within the constituency. Not by just coming out when election time to come collect some vote, right? And when you get the vote now, you forget the people them, right? It's a way of connecting with the people, right? Knowing what the people them want, right? What changes can be made to better the communities, better the parish, better the constituency, right? So going forward, because listen, the people them on the ground, and these are the people we need for you talk to. These are the people the MP them need for you learn from, because them are the one we are living it. A lot of these MPs don't understand when them jumping at them vehicle and them they, wherever them live, right? And them not visiting the constituency only when election time come. You see them come around and I come go and like say, yo, them are the best thing, and them do all the work for the people.
Nick, neighbor, I want to say something to you, neighbor. I know a lot of persons are going to vex with this in the neighbor and do agree, but neighbor, you see neighbor, you see that 18 and a half year the neighbor where the People's National Party rule over Jamaica for neighbor. Yes. You tell us neighbor, a lot of what we have faced right now, neighbor, is as a result of that 18 and a half years in the neighbor. Neighbor, we mean neighbor, look at the high level, even the higher level, how high tribalism is now in our politics, neighbor, is as a result of that 18 and a half years, neighbor.
Yep.
A lot of Jamaican problem, neighbor, is as a result of that 18 and a half years with that one government that was running the country for that long period of time, neighbor. And they were just...
Hold on, Scratchy. Not the government so much, but how they operated.
How they operated, neighbor, their style, their leadership style, how they distributed the country's wealth, how the social programs, how they were dealt with, neighbor. It was being done in a partisan way, in a biased way, neighbor. That's why now that Jamaica Labour Party is in governance, neighbor. That's why the Jamaica Labour Party supporters, neighbor, I saw hurt sometime when them see the member of parliament help out other PNP communities. Because we see neighbor the last campaign where candidates get bashed and say, she had too much PNP. That's why neighbor, is because of that 18 years old they treated us, neighbor. We never benefit from nothing.
What are you saying to me?
No,
we never benefit from nothing, neighbor. If it was a diet in labor right community, you don't benefit from no social programs in the 90s. You suffer in the hands of PNP.
That is true. Yeah, man,
neighbor. Neighbor, it's 2007 when time Bruce Golding won the election, neighbor. I started to realize certain things and know certain things, neighbor. Certain diet come in place, never usually get anything, neighbor. Nothing. Look at Andrew Holness, neighbor. We see where the Prime Minister give every single member of Parliament $5 million towards them constituency. We see each Christmas we give each and every one of them $20 million towards the CD, towards them constituency for the debushing, road work and all type of different things. It's not done it on a partisan level, neighbor. He do it on a level where it's all over across the board, everybody can benefit. But when time PNP was in power, neighbor, oh my word, neighbor, PNP benefit, PNP strongman benefit the most, and PNP persons who are of influence. Jamaica Labour Party supporters and diatic communities who support Jamaica Labour Party never benefit, neighbor. Never benefit. Yeah. Only upstanding community in that 18 and a half year there was West Kingston. And the only reason why we could have stood up because we had the opposition leader is because we had the opposition leader. PNP neighbor, them cause it neighbor, that 18 and a half year neighbor is as a result of enough of the sore foot of Jamaica right now. On an economic farm neighbor, on a social farm neighbor.
And that is why, Scratchy, the leader of the party and a lot of his MPs and supporters are this or not because they want to kind of practice the same politics.
Exactly, they want to practice the same politics, neighbor, and the leader now, the current leader that we have now of the Jamaica Labour Party is trying to change that type of politics, neighbor. And that is what he's telling everyone. Change from that politics so you're helping one people.
That may be one of the reasons why we had the result in the election, Scratch.
Exactly, neighbor, because look, he changed how he campaign, neighbor. He didn't just campaign to his base or his core supporters, neighbor. He changed his campaign style. He changed his campaign strategy, neighbor. He didn't went on the campaign with the bag of cussing and the hooray and to gallop the crowd and get them rallied up. He didn't use any big mainstream popular artists to gain any form of attention or a certain thing, neighbor. He stick to a certain level, neighbor, and that is why we see the result, because a lot of persons, neighbor, they are not ready for it. But neighbor, it has started from somewhere, and I am happy that it's the Jamaica Labour Party Party is leading by example with Jamaica Holness at the helm right now. Other politician neighbor, they need to adapt it. They need to understand neighbor. The tribalism need to cut out our politics. We are all Jamaica.
I'm liking this. Thank you for that, Scratchy. Now I am unlocking what happened. Yeah. So Scratchy, take me back a little to this 18 and a half years. You are suggesting that during that time, Jamaica was run on a partisan basis. He's gone? Yeah, he's gone.
Right here, neighbor. I'm right here.
Yeah, a partisan basis. You saw that.
I saw that, neighbor. I saw that when I compare the 90s, neighbor, and I compare it to what I'm seeing now, neighbor, in terms of the distribution of government resources, neighbor, I can safely say that it was being done on a partisan basis back in the 90s compared to now. And a lot of persons who live in other communities and constituencies can say that, neighbor. It was being done, neighbor, that 18 and a half years, neighbor. It's a bad part of our chapter going forward, neighbor. And I am so sorry, neighbor, that we have to look back at this time, neighbor, and have to be seen, neighbor. All right, neighbor, when you look at even when you look at squatting, neighbor. Squatting, neighbor, become relevant in the 90s in the neighbor. Squatting become a norm under the People's National Party in the neighbor to make sure that they could form strong garrisons, you know. Squatting, neighbor, they know that no one that's supposed to go over there to go live, neighbor, and them still bringing what make 120 people go farm in farm and settlements over there, live in a squalor, live like rats, but they didn't mind, neighbor, because those 120 persons are going to vote for them. So that's how squatting started, neighbor. Of course, that's how squatting started. That's how we are so, neighbor, the most informal settlements in the history of Jamaica farming, a PNP strongholds. Go and look across the whole Jamaica. The PNP are the most informal settlements, neighbor. And they allowed it. They allowed it, neighbor.
That's the land.
Yes, they purposely allowed it, neighbor. They purposely allowed it. And what it do now, neighbor? It breed criminality. It breed people who can't read. It breed poverty. It breed illiteracy, neighbor. If you look at you know what the PNP do in the NT, they 18 and a half years, neighbor. They leave us, neighbor, to be in survival mode. And you see, once you're in survival mode, you don't have no form of respect for any law and order. Once you are in survival mode, neighbor, law and order is of no importance to you because you're basically living for nothing. You're in survival mode. This hustler mentality, neighbor, was birthed out of the 90s. So I am the PNP. Meanwhile, they are working, everybody have a hustle. So everybody come in the mentality of me a hustler. Neighbor, you know what? I don't push my son and my daughter to become the no hustler, neighbor. I don't want my son and my daughter. Neighbor, hustling was birthed from in the 90s because the PNP, or they were doing things, or they were distributing things, people had to hustle. Take what things from there and go sell. Come on, neighbor. A lot of poverty, everything. A lot of it, neighbor, started from the 90s. May I tell you, neighbor, squatting and informal settlement started from the 90s, neighbor. And hold on there, Winston. But Scratchy, then this is what Holness is trying to balance.
Yes.
Exactly, neighbor.
Society.
Yeah.
Exactly, neighbor.
Social structures.
Yeah.
Exactly, neighbor.
And also, neighbor, you have to remember that there's also a percentage of the population that strive on criminality and unlawfulness. And so therefore they don't want to have a society that is properly policed and ruled by the rule of law.
But Winston, but if you listen to the PM, you know, right? I don't want to say what the PM said, right, in a wrong term. But if you listen to what the PM said in one of his thing there before the election, when they talk about people must have them title for them property and all of these things, and that it has stemmed from is the fact that a lot of persons are on people's land and them don't have the title for it.
Yes, yes.
In 2020, I think it's 2013, 2014, there was a big uproar on Red Hills Road where this man had his property, right? Come back from foreign with him title and everything, for his property, and over 120 persons, I think 125 persons live on the man property, build up house for the man property, and it caused a big uproar on Red Hills Road. And
well, I want to say this to you, Nick. That
before you go, Winston, we're taking our final break. Let's take a final break. Second. right, it's 26 minutes after 1 o'clock. And the discussions are getting so interesting here, but we have to go at 2. So just taking a break to let you know that 876-858-9553 is the WhatsApp number for the program. And when you text that number, someone will respond to you and share with you how you can help the program go forward, all right? We're really talking about tribalism and how it was formed and how we are going to advance the society beyond the tribal politics that obviously affected the results of the election a couple of Wednesdays ago. We have Scratchy with us, we have Nick and Uncle Winston. Go with you until 2 o'clock. Please stop the screen, please share the live. And of course, there's a live goal on your screen. Help us to meet that before we leave at 2 o'clock, all right? Of course, tomorrow we're going to cover the Prime Minister's story. Big day in Jamaica. The Prime Minister will phone tomorrow. We'll cover that. Please remember 876-858-9553. 876-858-9553. I want to go back to Scratchy to start this final segment because I think he has nailed down something for me. Scratchy?
Yeah, yes, neighbor, go ahead.
You are basically exploring that in looking at the results of the elections. You could say that here you have a society where a lot of people voted PNP because these people wanted to continue the 90s, what the benefits they received from the 90s, but that those benefits were done in such a way that a them one will not benefit.
Exactly.
Now you have a society where the distribution is a little bit more equitable. Would you say more equitable?
Yes.
And that are not too happy about that, eh?
I mean, some are definitely not, neighbor, because when they look back at how they were treated, neighbor, they might say, yo, it should be, I mean, eye for an eye. But I tend to see it different, neighbor, because when I look at Jamaica, neighbor, we choose Jamaica, neighbor. You cannot choose, it said choose Jamaica, I never said choose piece of Jamaica, neighbor. So I'm choosing the whole entire Jamaica, neighbor, and I want to see the development of Western Kingston, neighbor. It can't be Tivoli Garden alone that look good, neighbor. Matches Lane, even though them support PNP strong, must also look good as well. That will also help with the overall development of Jamaica. You understand me, neighbor? So that is how I see it, neighbor. But that's not how it was in the 90s, neighbor. If it was like that in the 90s, neighbor, and that is what this thing that surprised me, neighbor. The Jamaica Labour Party communities have been in opposition for so long, but yet still, neighbor, they still manage to be and look more upstanding than communities that are represented by the PNP.
Is that so?
Yes, neighbor, it surprised me, neighbor, that the communities, neighbor, that are represented by the Jamaica Labour Party for a party that was in opposition for so long. These communities are well run and more upstanding than People's National Party communities, neighbor. We're not bring down the community, we're all Jamaicans. And we're not talk bad about no other community compared to any, but we're talking realistically. If you look across the length and breadth, even at the carpet area, neighbor, the worst communities in the carpet area support the People's National Party. I don't know why. The most rundown, the most informal communities, them support the People's National Party. I don't know why. So I will show you, so this is a government, neighbor, this is an opposition party, neighbor, that support lawlessness.
Support a mindset. You know, Scratchy, I came up to share, to substantiate a point that you made. By saying that J.C. Hutchinson is one of those members of parliament that suffer great victimization in the parliament under the People's National Party. Because when the PNP was ruling control government, J.C. Hutchinson would not get any funding to fix even one road. Not even one road. And so therefore the people patient run out against J.C. Hutchinson. To the eventually they turn against him because he would not get any financing, any at all from the People's National Party to do nothing at all in this constituency. You understand?
Neighbor.
And the other point I wanted to make, neighbor, the
Uh-huh.
PMP campaign 1989 against the garment industry in Jamaica. And when they get power, they make sure that they destroy that garment industry. And when you go to West Street and Orange Street and Princess Street and Earwood Street and all of those other streets down in Kingston, it is a reflection of that garment industry that the PMP destroyed. Because men and women now start to sell panty and brassiere and washing brush and phone case because there's no industry to employ them. And that's the legacy of the PMP National Party, neighbor.
Well
And
said.
so therefore, our economy becomes an informal economy where the planning institute cannot be able to measure properly. And so we suffer from a mimic growth over the years because most of our industrial people becomes hustlers.
That's fascinating. What a
Well,
fascinating.
well said. Well
Outlaw.
said, brother Winston. Well said.
Go ahead, Outlaw. Go
Well,
ahead.
neighbor, you have to come when you come in. You have to know where you're coming from to know where we're going. As a young man growing up in the 70s, right? 1972 was my first election where I could say, well, yes. And to see an election run from 1972 and it take me right into 2025 to see 1972 repeat back again, where we can dance and come together as one, and crime free. It is a blessing for Jamaica. Anyway, when 1972 election was run, I think the PMP come in a power with everything with Jamaica and the belt moving. There is no issue, no farmer issue where people don't have money. Our parents, all they have to do is just say, pick. Say my grandmother, I live in with my grandmother. She pick a bucket of grapefruit and she give me the bucket of grapefruit. She pick it and give me the bucket of grapefruit to carry it outside. There comes the grapefruit truck, buy grapefruit. So it's like a fountain. Every community was like a fountain because we have people who come in by the coconut. You have people who come in by the banana. You have people who come in by every kind of fruit, cane, whatever, name it. That's the community I know. We used to. That's why we have our growth was so good. Anyway, since the PMP come in 1972, by 1974, what the trend I see PMP started to do, they start to bring in people, bringing other people from different community. Like man from jungle, I come in my local community at St. Mary, and all they do, they just sit down the whole day play domino. When weekend time come, what they do? They go collect money. You have the truck them where they used to go around, the PWD truck them will go around and fix the roads and thing. All of that stop. As a young youth growing up, me used to broke stone. Broke stone and the stone truck come and buy from us. When we're done, we have nothing like that happen after the PMB. For the to right up to the 1989 is the deliverance of the labor right come and save Jamaica again. Take us out of the poverty and take us out of the stress, because the stress what PMP leave us into. That's why when you are a young man, if you any young man or whatever, whosoever, PMP or labor right know about this. 1979, we have to go anytime you go shop, every food married. That was the biggest wedding Jamaica ever have. Everybody married in Jamaica. Thank God the 1980 Siaga win and bring back the country. We have one of the best Christmas. I don't know. You supposed to be a young man those time, neighbor. Right, neighbor?
Well,
Tell me
you know,
about
sir,
the
No. I remember seeing my mother, the woman in my community, sweeping the road and breaking rock stone. Yeah, I remember those days. Sir. Yeah.
So yeah,
It's a fascinating to see, sir. But outlaw, I don't know if you have a say on in terms of we are tribal. We are a tribal nation, sir. We're not supporting the
but the reason why they really right why the tribal, we were one nation. We were one nation in the 60s, right up to the 70s. And the tribal communities when Michael Manley started to take out the jungle. Just like what this minister decided to come and take jungle man them to run the country again. Because that's what he was saying. Him say, him a go have the jungle man them to come in, come give him a strength. You understand me? I don't know if you know about that. When Mr. Man say, well, he might go for the man them a jungle and come ask them to give him a strength.
Well, I don't know. Hold on there for me, outlaw. Clive?
Okay.
Yes,
Clive?
Neighbour. Greetings, everybody.
Greetings to you. Are you in Jamaica, sir?
No, Neighbour, I'm outside the country, but I keep in tune with everything and
Yes, sir.
regularly
We
listen
are
to your
about to
program
start
as well.
a new term of government, but same old problems, Clive. How are we going to resolve this issue of tribalism in the country?
You see, yeah, what happened, what happened so bad is it, with the PMP, I don't know, scratch them and this guy understand that the PMP over the years, they stick to their lies. So they stick to their lies and they were just too media we have in Jamaica at the time. They get away with it at the time because I personally try to even challenge them. I use Fenton Ferguson as an example. The same lie he tell 5 years, when the 5 years coming for another election, he turned the lies around a different way. So if you as a single person trying to challenge him that what they're doing is they're not helping us, they're just coming with lies and trickster. No, he won't listen to you to change it because when you go along the road, you're going to see 30 more youth along the road and you're going to put that lie to them same way. You understand me? So the PMP govern under lies and deceiveness from years and years. You see, use as an example, you see, they're beating down the prime minister with lies and then when the people find out that they are lying, they still hang on to the lie. You understand what I'm saying to your neighbor? So these people are bitter when it comes to lies to capture the mind of Jamaican people. That's what they use over the years and turn so much place in garrison and put people places to live where they're not supposed to even live. You understand me? And they use these lies and over the years and get away with it. But now they had a bitter challenge with media like Yearns and Squitty and many more people beating down their lies. They have a challenge now. You understand me? During the 80s, the 70s, up to the 2000s, they get away with a whole lot of lies because there was no one to challenge them. An individual person could never challenge them and win because they don't give up off of their lie. They stick to their lies.
They control the media.
I don't know if Scratch them understand that part and Winston them. They control the media. They control the media with lies. That's why the media can push out lies. The Gleaner can push out lies all the time. And some journalists are pushing out lies all the time. And they stick to it. Just like you challenge them and tell them that they are lie, they will never.
Just like Ranston
they still go on and telling the same lie.
You know, sir, I'm going to.
Yes, I will Ranston.
Go ahead. Go ahead, sir.
What if I tell a Ralston Ayman was my neighbor? Neighbor. What if I tell a Ralston Ayman was my neighbor? And
yes.
And from I know him all this time, from I was a kiddie youth, he's a strong supporter of the People's National Party.
And he's the biggest liar.
Know that.
Biggest liar for them.
I don't.
Oh boy.
Yeah, definitely, bro. I'm telling you, the PMP are a liar. They tell lie. They have no plans for the country. They're designed to keep you into poverty, just like what happened in Cuba. As I tell anybody,
listen to this.
The Cuban regime, the PMP regime, is similar to the
that was left to count is a Labour Party stronghold. It's a Labour Party stronghold. So when the Steve Wright division, Andrew did not win him seat.
Well, this is a caller calling Andre Stevens, saying Andrew did not win his seat. Now, you see how dangerous PNP people are? The recent distasteful lie of the comrades is that the Prime Minister's seat was not won by him. Remember now, you know, that the leadership of the PNP went to a press conference and said that they're not doing a magisterial recount, but that there were questions about the Prime Minister's seat. Listen to one of their supporters.
Andrew did not win his seat.
Andrew did not win his seat. Andrew did not win his seat. And listen, Andre Stephen, who is now a supporter of the Labour Party. Listen to him.
No, I'm going to tell you though, Miriam. You see, the division that was left to count is a Labour Party stronghold. It's a Labour Party stronghold. So when that Steve Wright division they come in, he would have automatically win because I saw it always. At the last division to count, and they normally pick up that amount of votes. Me, I'm going to be one of the persons who tell you the truth tonight about it.
Me, I'm going to be one of the persons who tell you the truth tonight about it. That are Andre Stevens.
I'm just him know say them a liar.
Because it is undeniable before.
No one double liar. You understand? So him decides say, well, all right, listen, enough lie. Me, I going to tell you the truth.
You know, sir, when it is blatant like that, then I comment on.
Yeah, but some of them are not liars. Some of them just misinformed. Like in this lady's a while ago, she don't sound like a liar. She sound like somebody who just misinformed and don't know the truth. I don't know.
But
Right from wrong. She don't sound like a liar.
Neighbor, me not cut you. The end of the day, with Diane Jacks Miller, when the other minister, the PMP was leading, what she knew, because she in it long time, and she knows a certain box no count, and she was just rub it in. Oh, the Prime Minister may be losing his seat. The Prime Minister, you understand me? So
Yeah.
she build up the momentum in the people them and make them feel like how them feel. And even when it takes so long for them to process it and put it through and make them see the right count. So that's why you have people who come and say, well, the Prime Minister.
And sir, if you know anything about politics and you are analyzing election in Jamaica, you ought to say to the public, guys, the divisions, we have these a number of boxes. The divisions that are left to come in are strong Labour Party divisions, and therefore this does not suggest the Prime Minister is new. The impression given on election night, sir, was that the Prime Minister's seat was at risk.
Yes, from the media, from Miss Miller.
Well, I don't know if it's Miss Miller, but
Miss Miller, yes, I don't afraid for talk. She was the one. You know, if you look on her face, when she find out, look at her face. When the other racer box them come in and the Prime Minister start.
There was a clear attempt, whether it was deliberate or not, but that was misleading, sir. Because, hold on, if I was doing editing or if I was in charge of any media house and I saw that, I wouldn't put it up on screen. I would not.
Well, definitely, they wanted to show her face, and
they sent the country in an unnecessary shock.
Yes, and they hold it so long.
Labor rights were no. Let me tell you something. Some people, when they saw that, it was almost as if things were. This could not be real.
People nearly turn off 10 TV and mash up the TV.
Let me say, no, sir, that was a deliberate attempt. I don't know if it was deliberate, but that was unnecessary.
As a journalist, yes.
Why you have to expect now? Why you have to expect in a neighbor? That the PNP, the People's National Party, with all its surrogates, did expect a wipeout of the Jamaica Labour Party. Right? But remember the neighbor.
Winston,
Remember,
before you
I
go
know.
on here. But hold on, Winston. If you are in a media room and you cover an election, and here is the Prime Minister's seat, the Prime Minister normally wins that by over 2,000 odd votes.
Yes.
And you put up on screen that Buchanan is ahead, and you make that stay up there, that not send shocks across the country, sir.
Mm-hmm. But that's what they want. They want to create. They want to create panic. Neighbor,
Yeah,
they
but
wanted to
but
create
neighbor, at the
panic.
time when Buchanan was leading, there were 18 boxes to count.
Yeah,
That's
but
what I'm
neighbor,
saying.
neighbor, remember this, you know, that on the day of the poll, you know, remember that an argument was going around that the Prime Minister was arrested by the FIB.
Yes, but hold on there. You remember when they sent Buchanan down to that seat, sir? This is all contrived, you know. You remember when Buchanan was introduced to that constituency?
Yes, I remember, neighbor. We were on the program that night. We came on the program that night.
Yeah, that the PNP said they were going to take it back.
Yes, to that
And
Sunday.
now
To
the
that
PNP
Sunday.
was going to win that constituency. I wonder if Jamaicans not seeing that this is all part of a, you know,
It's
it
an
is
orchestrated plot, neighbor.
vulgar. It is vulgar. And on election night, labor rights were so worried. And I was pointing out to them, oh guys, please. You
Yeah,
don't
neighbor,
need to-
neighbor. Yeah, a person like you who understand the politics and know the politics, neighbor, would know you never get jittery in a account like that. Because I didn't get shaky one bit. That could never shake me. I know Buck is a old truck, neighbor, or that don't have no engine. Not the farmer endurance. I know Buck could
Neighbor,
even be.
that's why I
Nobody
said,
would beat the Prime Minister.
so at the credit, a lady like Miss Miller, she should never even think that out of the mouth. She should have even go back to them and say, all right,
to guide the public, sir, to guide
Yes.
the public. Guide the public.
Mr. Buckin, what are leading at the moment. But we have so many backs leave it to count. So let us, you understand me? But they hold it right there, like say, well, it's like all labor right to shut off.
You know,
But to be fair, though, neighbor, isn't that no journalists or neighbor create something out of nothing?
yeah.
But they are deliberately misleading, Scratchy. Yeah, the point.
But neighbor,
No, I don't. No, neighbor. Let's be fair, neighbor. She didn't mislead. She didn't say Buck win. She said Buck win. She mislead us.
No.
She said Buck was leading.
Yes, no, but the fact is Scratchy. Buchanan is not expected to win that seat at all.
right.
If you cover elections in Jamaica, you know, as Andre points out here, that in that constituency, the PNP votes come in first. Those are checked, and then in every election, sir, when the votes eventually are tallied, the Prime Minister is 2,000 odd votes ahead. That should have been said to the public. Okay? Because what they did was create unnecessary panic, and now the narrative is the Prime Minister lost. I even hear conspiracy theories say, light go away, and votes just turn up and the Prime Minister win. Why is this lady saying, look, listen to her, listen to this lady.
Andrew did not win his seat.
Hold on, Andrew did not win him seat. How she get that? Where come from? It came from what she saw on the screen. That's where it came from. And kill them dead. Some hanky-panky happened. And the Prime Minister just got 2,000 votes again. And the PNP doubled down on it at the press conference. That's what I'm saying. Why did the PNP not say, well, no? But they said, no, they're going to make a report on it. They are going to investigate it. Because not even them not believe it.
But you see, neighbor, you see the level of dishonesty in our society, you know. You have a thing where them call names, statement of poll, you know.
Neighbor, you know that something I did a constituency 1997, and is that they want to do again?
Yes.
In 1977, when that went to a recount in one of the divisions where the judge pushed away some of the votes.
Yeah. And the seat never pacified till 2008. 98, yeah.
And that's what they might try, but it not gonna work this time.
You know, you see, you know, neighbor, as you said before, politics is scientific, you know. And even if Buchanan have a couple hundred votes over the Prime Minister. If the Prime Minister's strong division have not yet come in, you can automatically call it for the Prime Minister because you know that, listen,
Absolutely.
if it is not a swing election, it will be impossible for Buchanan to pick up another 2,000 votes or another 1,000 votes from that division. And so Dean Jackson well know of this, you know. And many elections Dean Jackson cover, you know. Dean Jackson understood the scientific method surrounding election day and counting at the ballot. But she was just, let me tell you something. Dean Jackson Miller, you are a disgrace to the profession that you are a part of. Yeah, man, you are a disgrace to the profession, Dean Jackson.
Well, Wilson, want to thank you for today, sir.
Yes, neighbor. I want to thank you too to give us the opportunity to share our opinion.
Yes. Yeah, man. Come again tomorrow, okay?
Neighbor.
Yeah, man. Clive, how are you doing, Clive? Clive?
Yes, neighbor.
Yeah, man.
Yes, neighbor.
Take a minute. We're gonna go.
Neighbor, before I go, yeah, I'm gonna come off in a quickly while now. But before I go, if you can remember back again in East Portland about the beach situation, there's a girl who even showing her auntie that her auntie is a liar. Her auntie is a support of the People's National Party, and she well known her auntie identify what her auntie was saying that Miss Vargas was trying to take away the beach. She were lying. You understand me? And the fisherman, they all were lying. All these people who support the PMP, they just lie. You know, everybody adapt it. Everybody who accept the PMP adapt lies.
Because that's a criminal organization. That's what the PMP are.
Yeah.
And it started from the Michael Manley from 1974.
All right, guys. Thank you. You here? Thank you so much, Clive. Thanks, Outlaw. Stay on there, Scratchy.
Yes, neighbor, bless.
Pick up yourself, neighbor.
Right. So Scratchy?
Yes, neighbor.
Seems
Right,
like
yes.
we're stuck in this, and we're gonna have to hug it up and go on, Scratch. Seems like this is a cancer that why will kill us.
Definitely, neighbor. It is, neighbor. I see. That's why I say, neighbor. No matter what Dan Jones come and say and say, we're gonna always see this, neighbor. We're gonna always see the PNP gain over 350 to 400,000 votes, neighbor. We're gonna always see that. They're gonna have a demographic like that support them, you know, because of how things are distributed. Neighbor, I tell you all the while, neighbor, Jamaica's biggest problem, you know, neighbor, is also our biggest gift, you know. Our biggest gift, what we are blessed for, is also one of our main problem, neighbor, which is our culture, our way of life. And culture is a way of life, neighbor. And it is something that is good. Let us be known and shine all over the world. But it also affects us domestic, neighbor, in our governance structure, our governance system, our culture, neighbor, our belief. We tend to believe that we don't want to work so many, neighbor, unless we can hustle. And that's madness. That's total madness. That is the Jamaican belief. Don't go look to work this if you can't hustle. You go work somewhere to tear down, somewhere to place, come sell it like no. But during the country, neighbor, a lot of things, neighbor, we have to talk about going forward, neighbor. That's why we just dying to kind of step away from the politics, neighbor. Because as I tell you before, I take off my green hat, neighbor, and I'm now looking forward to the governance of my country. There's a lot of things I see the Prime Minister talk about the $32,000 increase in the minimum wage in the next 5 years. That's something I would love to see, neighbor. And with that increase, when that increase come, neighbor, what I would also like to see, I would like to see our pay our citizens change, neighbor. Persons who are getting 170,000 to 200,000, I don't think we need to wait 30 days to pay those people, neighbor. Neighbor, it's a consumer, neighbor. It's not how much or just how much money a person get that let them spend more in the neighbor. It's also how often. So I think the government need to look at that neighbor. We need to bust that scale pay down neighbor. If I don't start pay a person the 15th of the month and the last of the month neighbor. Persons need we need that money if you have full of the economy neighbor. Persons live off of weekly, sending them kids to school, joining partner, people eat, people drink weekly, man. The small country neighbor, I don't think we should have to wait 30 days to pay somebody 170,000 or 200,000. Or a certain minimum wage, or a certain person where I get minimum wage. I think we can pay persons weekly now, neighbor. We need to start pushing it. We need money. We need more income in the economy, neighbor. Not necessarily some more income, but we need the money to be in the person's hand more often. So if I get 150,000 2 times for the month, the possibility I might spend more.
What a fantastic suggestion. You only get $150,000 a month and you have to wait 4 weeks to get it. By the time you come, you're broke like a church
that's
house.
Total, yeah, that's total mad, this neighbor. We have to change them space scale thing in the country. Them things are all about the country as well, neighbor. Those things are all about the country, neighbor. You shouldn't have to wait so long to pay a man 150,000.
By week 4, he must borrow money.
He must borrow money. Come on, man. We have to change all of those stuff, neighbor. We have to change that's what I say, neighbor. It's our biggest problem in the country right now, neighbor, is our governance structure. It is corruption prone, and it needs a lot of tweeting. There's a lot of tweeting that needs to be done in our governance structure.
How are you, Scratchy? Because you are a Rockstone labourite, a Siaga labourite. How are you able to separate the party from your national perspective? How are you able to engage in these discussions here going forward?
I mean, despite me being a Rockstone labourite neighbor, but before anything neighbor, before I'm even a Rockstone labourite, I'm a Jamaican first neighbor. And the reason why I am a Rockstone labourite is not because alone, because I was born in a Rockstone labourite. I have the ability neighbor if you can think. And I see the Jamaica Labour Party as a party who means it can bring Jamaica to the level where it should be. So that's why I support the Jamaica Labour Party. But despite me supporting the Jamaica Labour Party neighbor, I can distinguish and tell myself, see, the party blunder right there, so the party make a mistake right there, so me see, I never understand that where me know the country should go, or where me know what is good and what is bad. And me can go back to what me used to say PNP do and compare it now. I mean, I love to see my Jamaica Labour Party lead us forward. And a lot of the issues that Jamaica face right now is not twined up in Jamaica Labour Party. It's twined up in the governance structure, or the governance is structured, or the government operate. It's not need to change. And once again, fix most of that, Jamaica will definitely see true potential, neighbor. People worry about trading. Neighbor, we don't even have to trade at that much in the neighbor. We don't even need to trade at that much. We have over 5 million people who visit Jamaica each year in the tourism sector. All we need to do, neighbor, push neighbor, find unique ways. Exactly.
Yes. Agriculture with tourism, sir. What that could do. You know, I was talking to someone about this yesterday, and I was saying to myself, imagine, Scratchy, we have millions of tourism. You think that it's hotels buy yam and chicken and beef and mutton from Jamaica, sir? And apples and eggs and milk? You think Jamaica it come from, sir? Most of it, sir. Yes.
You're 100% right, neighbor. The agriculture sector is here. We don't have to worry about trade, nothing, neighbor. If all of us as Jamaican, neighbor, look at our school, neighbor. We have over 450,000 students going to school, neighbor. And it is a shame, neighbor, if you know that as a government, neighbor, we, the government, don't have control over what our students are consumed. We are giving them kings. Look, neighbor, the young farmer.
From Trinidad. They're eating snacks from Trinidad.
One bag of snacks from Trinidad.
Apples from America, sir. And sir, all of these hotels, sir, I don't know they're buying 20% of their consumption from Jamaica. Agriculture have to step up in a Jamaica, Scratchy.
Neighbor, if agriculture should step up, neighbor, would see a drastic change in our country, in our economy, our country, neighbor. Agriculture is the driving force, neighbor. Everyone in neighbor, we have to eat, but it is not being done in an organized way. It is not structured. It is all over the place. Realistically, neighbor, you can go up on a platform and tell me, I go search right now and tell me, what is the ideal amount of yam? How much pound of yam does the Jamaican population need for the year? How much pound of pumpkin we need for the year? Are we meeting these targets? Are we missing these targets? We don't know none of these things, neighbor. There's no the system them and second they're not organized, neighbor. Imagine you have 450,000 students in our school system, and majority of our agriculture system or produce is not pushed into the school system as breakfast and lunch. Neighbor, you know why the yam man ball, the man who have the produce, the man who the yam and banana, neighbor. In bar say nothing go on because yam and banana only consume night time for dinner. Yam and banana should be consumed 12 o'clock. 450,000 students across Jamaica, them should be eating yam and banana to during lunchtime. Push the production. Sweet potato and dasheen and pumpkin, you push the production. Or you can't eat for dinner, but you can't eat for lunch at school.
Chocho.
Chocho, push the production, neighbor.
Yes,
Push
sir.
the production.
Brilliant.
It starts with
Brilliant.
the school, neighbor. And the next thing too, I want to tell the government, neighbor, and the Minister of Education, I want to go look at the school and see this thing I want to rent out, the canteens are being rented out. It is putting the students at a disadvantage, neighbor. My son is in grade 2 and I can't believe say 750 for your lunch I'm school in the neighbor.
Yes.
Neighbor, I want the government to take over the canteens. Government should take over all canteens in primary and high school, neighbor. This thing where you rent out the canteen, neighbor, where you use the school, pick them as business, neighbor. We benefit too much off of them. How much you rent taste is your canteen?
Hold on, yes, Scratchy. Hold on.
Our school for rent mothers in canteen.
Mothers.
And tasty, they rent those people canteen and talk shop. Neighbor, those persons are not for profit, you know.
More teeth, man.
Our school canteens are being rented out to mothers and tasties, eh?
And private investors, neighbor, those persons are for profit. A school canteen must be somewhere, neighbor, where the bridge is being built there between the students and the canteen where you're supposed to go there if you have the lunch money or not and get something to eat. Neighbor, mothers are going in it for a profit.
Yes. You're right, sir. Dead right. Boy, Scratchy, you.
That is madness, neighbor. We don't have control over what our students are most popular or our most vulnerable population are being fed. That's why some of these 12-year-olds start have obesity problem, diabetic problem, because we don't control them and eat, neighbor. Oh,
Aye, just a quick interruption. Can I say?
Why are you interrupting?
No, because I heard somebody say something stupid there. You cannot eat.
Hold on, man. You can intervene.
Yes.
But I don't know that you can interrupt.
Sorry then. Thanks for correcting me. You cannot eat banana.
No, but we don't do it like that, sir. Okay, hold on. You want to intervene?
Yes.
You want to make a point. Okay.
A point. I want to make a point.
Hold on. The program done doing now.
Yeah, quick. Just 2 minutes. 2 minutes. You can't.
You're going to pay for it, sir.
Yeah, I will.
Right.
2 minutes. You cannot eat banana and yam every day. You're gonna be too much sugar, man. You're gonna kill yourself.
You can eat rice and chicken every day, though.
No, you need to mix your diet.
So what is going on right now? They're currently eating rice and chicken every single day.
No, that's why people sick like this. You need proper food.
But he's saying that they are eating rice and chicken every day. Every day you go to the canteen is rice and chicken.
You need
fried chicken and rice.
Well, that's wrong. You need it.
Hold on. Isn't green banana, sweet potato, yam, dasheen, cocoa, chocho healthier than rice and dumpling? Rice.
They're all the same thing.
How they all the same?
All starchy food and this and that. You need proper diet, man.
Which is what?
You need eggs. You need vegetables, you need grains, you need everything for the body to function, not only those starchy food.
But he's not saying that that's all that they're going to serve. What he's saying is that the sector, the agricultural sector in Jamaica should be producing the things that our students should be eating.
All right.
Did you know?
Thanks for the correction.
Hold on. Did you know, sir, that the Child Care and Protection Agency in Jamaica, that the children's home have to submit to the state a menu plan?
Yes.
And hold on, sir. The menu plan must contain all the food groups across the week.
Yes.
You cannot feed children in the children's home rice and flour every day. You can't do it, you know.
No, that's not good.
Well, I'm telling you, so the school canteen, sir, should do the same. But what he's saying is that the schools are leasing it out to tasties and to mothers. And what do those companies serve the children? Fried chicken.
That's not good, man.
Good.
Well,
Respond,
maybe I overheard what the guy said.
You have to listen, sir. Respond, Scratchy.
Okay, sorry, man. Sorry, then.
As I said, neighbor, I see a school, neighbor, especially government school, public schools, neighbor, where we're all paying to subsidize it, neighbor. Where we're all paying education tax and we're paying to subsidize it, neighbor. School should be one of the biggest social grounds, neighbor, where any form of student, the moment you enter that institution, neighbor, anything at all you want should be of any form of hinge because of a price to an item. Meaning, if you should want something at the canteen, if you should want proper things should be put in place for that student. And when they rent out the canteen to these big organizations, neighbor, I think they're all for profits. And I think, neighbor, we're going to fail, neighbor, if we are trying to use the schools and just push profit with schools, neighbor. We're going to fail, neighbor, because schools are a social program. It's a social place. We're all footing the bill for these schools. We all pay education tax. So our students should be going to school, neighbor, and know that they have a secure meal. I love the government, neighbor, to take up these canteens. Take up the canteen in their hand, neighbor. And stop make them persons here come in and a benefit of 450,000 students we have in the school system.
My brother, let's go on try and get a meeting with the Ministry of Education. This is so fascinating and so true. So true, Scratchy. Go ahead, man.
Yeah, neighbor, I see it going on and it cannot continue, neighbor. Same like how we come in with the bus program for ease off certain burden, neighbor. We need a canteen program now for ease off because this is the most important part. What these kids are taking inside of them body, neighbor. It is very important. And we have an agriculture sector, neighbor. And we have 400,000 students. We need to push the agriculture production at the schools. That will lead to more production, neighbor. Okay? That will definitely lead to more production. I think the government, neighbor, there's a lot of things that the government that might look small, but it's start, neighbor. That's start, and that is where the government needs to start, neighbor. We have to take up this thing serious, or else we're going to fail and lose the students, them, neighbor. We'll continue to get students that come out of school with non-communicable diseases because of them eating lifestyle and stuff like that. We have to change it, neighbor. Have to change. Have to leave it. A lot of money. Definitely, my neighbor.
And Scratchy, tomorrow we're going to be covering the Prime Minister swearing in. What we want to do is to reflect on his journey to where he is today. So I don't think we'll come on at 11 tomorrow. I think we'll come on a little later, but we'll agree on the time and announce it later on. So you'll join us then, Scratchy?
Yes, man, definitely, neighbor. I'll talk about the Prime Minister swearing in.
Right, sure. Okay, so we're gonna give you a little bit of background on the Prime Minister tomorrow, and we will highlight his performance from he was a protege of Eddie Siaga till he became opposition spokesman, and then Minister of Education. We're gonna tell you about Holness tomorrow, where he came from, where he was born, the schools he attended, to now being sworn in for his third term as Prime Minister. What a fantastic accomplishment by Andrew. The one they call Bro God. So until you join us tomorrow this evening for Neighbor Prime Time, this was our first, imagine, our first program, Neighbor Daytime, and it was fantastic. Thank you so much for staying with us. More than 400 of you stayed with us through the entire day. Thank you so much. Join us again this evening at 7 o'clock for Neighbor's Prime Time. Until then, have a fantastic rest of the afternoon.